say goodbye, not see you later. Cut the crap and don't come back. Just go, don't wanna be your option. Just a backup, just in case. Oh, I'm so exhausted, can't keep up life this way. Give me back what isn't yours. I am not your hostage anymore. Too late, you can't change now. It's really too bad, but guess that's what happens when love goes wrong. You should have held on while you had it. It's been too long, I'm already gone. Just go, don't wanna be your option. Just a backup, just in case. Oh, I'm so exhausted, can't keep up life this way. Give me back what isn't yours. I am not your hostage anymore. You're not holding my heart hostage anymore. I've come too far to go so far backwards and love you like I did before. I always left a little crack in case you thought of coming back, but now chains, I got away. I'm not your hostage anymore. Broke my chains, I got away. I'm not your hostage anymore. I also have some, I have some written works that are poems. The first one is called Love, by definition. Love. It's such a simple thing, you know. If you love it, let it go. If it comes back, then it's yours. And if not, it never was. It's all so simple, can't you see? 1 and 1 makes 2, makes 3. All in perfect harmony. The ideal, flawless family. All our lives we're taught this stuff. The stuff that's supposed to be this love. So we know just what to expect when we at long last come across it. You'll be told your day will come, the day you finally fall in love, and it'll make your life worth living, because that's all life is good for, really. Happily ever, ever after, full of joy and truth and laughter, you'll ride off in a horse-drawn carriage. Who needs dreams outside of marriage? Sunsets, held hands, rocking chairs, sheer perfection in the air. Not a problem can't be solved. Not at least when you've got love. But what if that is not the case? What if that's just what they say? Stories, fairy tales, and lies? Let me open up your eyes. Love is, as Webster says, strong feelings of affection. But what he lacks to say is, it's so often only one direction. It's easy to forget yourself because you're so excited, but it's more common than you think that love is unrequited. Love is patient. I know that. Because you'll wait years for total rats that never cared at all for you because you love them like you do. Love is patient. Love is kind until it makes you lose your mind when you realize any kindness shown was just a kindness of your own love, you see. It's like a rose. It dies if it gets too cold. Come to think of it, I've never seen a rose that was very old. They say that we're the lucky ones. The ones that get to feel this love. Better to have loved and lost. But it comes at such an awful cost. Another thing to mention, rather, something that I found. You know that saying, 2 is company, 3 is quite the crowd? That's right. See, fairy tales of Charming and Snow White always leave out little Jody off and on the side. So I'm sorry, Mr. Webster, but I think you missed your mark. It's love, an action surely fatal to the human heart.
Yeah, all right.
And this last one is one I wrote yesterday called Cheesecake. So I got a new boyfriend, right? And he is amazing. I've got to say, it is really cramping my style. You see, because when you're an artist, you feed on emotion. And let's be honest, pain. Pain is like a 12-course dinner for the poet. It is always too much to handle, but it is an inspiring thing. And you're probably going to get heartburn and fat. Some artists have this ability. They fall in love and magic happens. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I am not one of those people. I will love you harder, deeper than you have ever known. But if you want me to make magic, I need a 12-course dinner. Pain is like Viagra for the soul. I'm not saying it'll lift you up. Oh no. But it'll be harder than you ever expected and last longer than you are prepared for. For me, it's a triple chocolate cheesecake. It's not good for me, I know, but I still want it. And I'll regret it a couple bites in, but I'm going to devour the entire thing. I'm talking 10 pounds of cheesecake straight to the hips because abracadabra, man. This guy, he gives me flowers. He gave me a Shania Twain cassette because he knows I roll old school. We write sweet little notes and inside jokes. And this dude, he's corny. Like on the cob, salted to perfection. He gives me support and appreciation. So you tell me, am I crazy to want cheesecake?
I like that.
Thank you very much. One more round for Hilary. Next we have Barbash.
This is called Our Father Don't Judge, okay? Now, we sure like to judge and we analyze everything that comes into view. I wrote this because I think about, how we judge everything and whether they're pretty or they're not or they're talented or not, and everybody has talent. Some talents seem to be better than others, but this is why I wrote this because it's just one of those things that I don't, from our perspective, it's from our perspective. We sure do like to judge and we analyze everything that comes into our view. I guess it's just our nature to, and we realize we got to see what other folks will do. And right away we know if they're right or if they're wrong, misconstrued, lost, or up a tree. And if they're good or if they're bad. contented or they're sad and wonder if they know reality. But our dad, he doesn't judge us at all the way we pray or the words we have exercised to use. He knows where to start. He just checks out our heart. And that, my friend, is liberating news. 'Cause we know not how to pray in any holy way to thank our Father for the amazing things He's done. Everything is copacetic when we finally get it. He knew those blessings would come through His Son.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lawrence Kingston.
This is the Moderately Successful Blues. I woke up this morning, curled up close to my lovely wife. Arms throwing in her ear, her elbow stabs me like a knife. My breath smells terrible. I get up and face life. My kids are good looking. They do well in school. I'm not good enough to get scholarships. I need to keep working like a fool. I drink my coffee by a stack of bills. I'm behind, but it's cool. Got those moderately successful blues. Life is good, but money is tight. Those moderately successful blues. Stressing and laying awake at night. Sex every week or so, and the occasional fight. My wife asks, are you hungry? You're looking so thin. The bathroom skill says otherwise. She smirks at my chagrin. We go out for lunch, eat tiny salads. I'm still starving. Last night my kid called. I love hearing his voice. I saw the new tattoo on Instagram. Not the best choice. By the way, he needs money, but that isn't why he called. I'm moderately successful blues. Life is good, but money is tight. Those moderately successful blues. Stressing and laying awake at night. Sex every week or so, an occasional fight. To my daughter, she said, Chop, got some big news. You're gonna be a grandfather. I'm excited, how about you? I'd be Be more excited if she was married and had her own insurance and her place to live too. Got those moderately successful blues. Life is good, but money is tight. Those moderately successful blues, stressing and laying awake at night. Sex every week or so, the occasional fight. Sex every month or so, must be a bigger fight. Sex every year or so, I'm holding on for dear life. So I think the words are kind of done now. Now it's just a matter of polish.
Anyway, it's If I Were a Carpenter. If I were a carpenter and you were a lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby? If a tinker were my trade, would you still find me carrying the pots I made, following behind me? Save my love for loneliness, save my love for sorrow. Will I give you my loneliness? Give me your tomorrow. If I worked my hands in wood, would you still love me? Oh, baby, say yes, I would. I'd put you above me. If I were a miller at the mill wheel grinding, would you miss your colored blouse, your soft shoes shining? Save my love for loneliness, save my love for sorrow. I'll give you my loneliness, give me your tomorrow. If I were a carpenter and you were a lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby? This next one, anyway, it's called Wayfaring Stranger. wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world below. There's no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright world which I go. I'm going there to see my Father, going there no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan, I'm only going over home. I know dark clouds may gather around me, I know my way is rough and steep. Golden fields lie there before me, God's redeemed will never see. I'm going there to see my mother, she said she'd greet me when I come. I'm only going over Jordan, I'm only going over. I'll soon be free from every trial, my body sleep in the churchyard. I'll drop my cross of self-denial and enter on my great reward. I'm going there to see my Savior, praise His name forevermore. I'm only going over Jordan, I'm only going over home. I'm going there to see my Savior, praise His name forevermore. I'm only going over Jordan, only going over home. Thank you.
This day, we're gonna go Spanish. Alaguena, you'll come to my heart. Won't you let me stay? You have brought me a lasting pleasure. I know I'm gonna love you anyway. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Come with me now into forever. You're the image and the vision that I see. Come and taste this lovely river one more time until I set you free. Oh. you stole my heart. We've got to get together before we drift apart. Oh yeah.
Next we have Fred Humphrey, and after that will be Clyde.
The Delta Night Coach was a plane service from Newark Airport, LaGuardia, which is the old airport in New York City, and Kennedy International, and left around 7 o'clock in the evening and flew to Atlanta or Miami-Dade. And I always thought that was such a cool name, so I tried to write a song about it. Delta Night Coach takes you away, trying to forget you, and I got the blues to pay. Trying to forget you and trying to change my mind, and trying to leave these old Florida blues behind. Early Monday morning, don't it feel just like rain? Walk to the corner, take the cross-town train. You return on Monday, I work the whole week through, wasting my time with these mean old Florida blues. Delta Night Coach takes you away, trying to forget you, and I got the blues to pay. Trying to forget you and trying to change my mind, and trying to leave these old Florida blues behind. In the evening, stay close to home, read the newspaper, hoping that you would phone. Early to bed, toss and turn the whole night through, just wasting my time with these mean old Florida blues. Delta Night Coach takes you away, trying to forget you, and I got the blues to pay. Trying to forget you and trying to change my mind, trying to leave these old Florida blues behind, trying to leave these old Florida blues behind. This is it's sort of a half country music song because it doesn't have a dead dog in it and it doesn't have a pickup truck, but it's got some other stuff you might recognize. May the devil devil take lovin'. It's a ruin of one country boy. It's taken my pleasure and all of my joy. And early tomorrow, without reason or rhyme, gonna take a westbound train. I leave the city behind. Now this dirty old city will sure get you down. And tired of working where work can be found. Take a train to the Midwest. It's a place I call home. To make it alone. When I get to the Midwest, I got some friends who live there. Take a job in a car lot, I could work anywhere. Washing dishes or a factory, anything's gonna do. And I spend my days working and forgetting you. So may the devil take lovin'. It's the ruin of one country boy. It's taken my pleasure and all of me joy. And early tomorrow, for the very last time, take a train to the Midwest. I'll leave the city behind.
All right, we have Claude coming up.
Wow, this is my first time here. Sorry. A little nervous. A heart on the run keeps a hand on the gun. You can't trust anyone. I was so sure what I needed was warm. Tried to shoot out the sun. In days when we raged, we flew off the page. Such damage was done. But I made it through, 'cause somebody knew I was meant for someone. Girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room. 'Cause someone needs medical help, or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house, and I ain't going to chop wood. Cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good. Put your faith to the test when I tore off your dress in Richmond all high. But I sobered up, I swore off that stuff forever this time. In the old lover scene, I thought it'd be me who helped him get home. But home was a dream, one I'd never seen till you came along. Girl, hang your dress up to dry till Percy Priest breaks open wide and the river runs through and carries this house on the storms like a piece of driftwood. Cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good. Girl, leave your boots by the bed, we ain't leaving this room till someone needs medical help or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. Cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good. Cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good.
All right, next we have Jason Long.
Stands fine. Hello, everybody. I'm going to leave it to the fates what I read to you. I started writing about 8 years ago. I was sitting in a coffee shop in LA and I heard a voice inside say, "You should start writing." And I was like, "Well, I don't have anything to write on." And it was like, "There's a bookstore next door, dumbass." So this is what came of it. And I only have one rule. Each writing is 1 page long. That's my only rule. The not-so-great and wandering mystic arose from his night slumber. As he stood up, a vision flashed upon him. He now knew what he must do. He immediately set out on his journey to go beyond the great darkness and seek out the voice of the sacred light. He trembled and shuddered at the idea of the eventual approach. His understanding of the sacrifice necessary for the journey was heavy upon him. For he thought himself a fool, the most foolish fool, for even wanting the way of the esoteric. For it was not a journey most would seek. Yet for some reason unknown to him, he had to go this way. It was as if he had no choice in the matter, and he believed he did not. However, there was a subtle joy to it all. The reward would be great. He had heard many times over. Liberation from suffering. Enlightenment. Who wouldn't want that? Who would not want freedom? Many, it seemed, multitudes, loved their suffering. The mystic would not be so easily swayed. As he marched off into the darkness, a grin of mischief appeared on his face as he uttered, "I will die for the truth. I will not give up. I'm unbreakable."
Good evening. My name is Dari, and I'm a spontaneous storyteller. I never write anything down, and I never prepare anything in advance, as you can see. So what I'm going to tell you about is my first New Year's big-time event in a small town in the mountains of North Carolina. And this happened back in the time when you had the bouffant hairdos where they rat teased your hair, and if anybody touched it, it left a dent. So you're like, "Don't touch me!" And I was very slender then. I know you can't tell, but my thigh size was my waist size back then. And I was just all that. I was like Miss Perfect, bitch. And so, like, I had to have my nails done and you know, all this before I even went out the door. And, well, when you live in North Carolina, you know, things, you start getting more relaxed, as you can see. So, you ain't nobody unless you got a nickname in this little town. And I was dating a man called Big Ben. They called Doug Big Ben because he was always on time. The man was infuriating to me. Infuriating. Because he would always show up 15 minutes early while I was still trying to decide what to wear. And I just couldn't understand this man. It's not time, Big Ben. It's just not time. So Big Ben had a friend. And Ramblin' Randall was his name. And he was kind of not very put together, and he was a mama's boy, you know, and he never had a date before. So Big Ben came to me, and he said, I have something very important to tell you. And I thought it was going to be a little velvet box with a diamond ring in there. And he says, I want you to go on a date with Ramblin' Randall on New Year's. It's the biggest social event of the year, and he's very depressed. And we need to help Ramblin' Randall, you know, become a man and feel better about himself. And I'm like, but I love you. Love is deaf, dumb, and blind. And so I just went off. No way, and he stinks. I'm not going out with him. He drools. I'm not going out. No way. What I didn't know was Ramblin' Randall was standing on the porch listening to me. So I had to say yes. So I had like a week to get ready. I went and got my hair all bouffant, teased up, and rat-tailed teased. It was up about right here. And, you know, you had to kind of like scoot down so it didn't touch the top of the car. and I had tried on like 9 outfits trying to figure out what to wear. And this is when Dallas was going on TV, so we had the big bouffant sleeves. And like I said, I had no personality up here. I had the lace and the ruffles, and I wanted to make an impression, man. So, like, I was dressed in pure white. I was angelic. I was sparkling. I had on my high heel shoes. I had on them fishnet stockings, and they was all straight. I had on my big earrings. They looked like satellite dishes on the side of your head. And so he came, and he had a bow tie, and he had used a lot of Brill cream. And it was still kind of like dripping. And apparently he tried to cover up his stink with some, get this, Old Spice cologne. So he escorted me out the door, and I stood back. There was this big, long, vintage Cadillac car. He had borrowed his daddy's vintage Cadillac car for this day. Ooh, he's big time now, honey. So we get in, and I sleep down in the seat. And I really don't want to be seen, so I'm scooting down further in the seat. And I'm like this. And all you can see is the little top of my hair sticking up with the little black bow. Remember the little black bows that you had to wear with the little spark? So we proceed to go into Sylvan, North Carolina. It's snowing. It's sleeting. It's icing up. There's a blizzard. We're still going 15 miles an hour. Got to protect Daddy's big old Cadillac car. So we finally we pull in where this social event of the year was going to happen at the Moose Lodge. The Moose Lodge. One of the O's had burned out like years ago. And he gets out, and he starts going towards the door, and I'm just like sitting there in the car like, what? So finally he figures out he's supposed to come back and open the door and help me out, which I need because I was on high heels and it was light gravel and about 6 inches of gray slush. And so finally he gets me and we hobble in there and we get up to the door and this little window opens up after he does a secret knock. And they go, who's out there? And he says, this is Ramblin' Randall and I have my guest, miss. And they said, what's the secret word? And he forgot. And we're standing there and I'm freezing in my rabbit coat. Remember them rabbit fur coats? It was all white. You had the chain across the front that held it together. There I am in my white skirt and I'm freezing. Waiting for him to decide to let somebody they obviously know. They said, Ramblin' Randall, I can't believe you forgot the password. And I'm going to let us in. So we go in, and these guys, buddy, I tell you what, they spared nothing getting ready for this party. They took a push broom and pushed all the beer cans up in one corner. They had borrowed chairs. Folding chairs from the church, and they was put along outside these tables, and the tabletop was here and your chair was down here, so you was like this. Spared no expense on this party. And they had one glitter ball. That's what I focused on, and I looked around and I was the one wearing a skirt. And I looked at them, and these women had on new bib overhauls. They had on Carhartts. They had camouflage. And they was all sitting there drinking Ripple. And they was all drinking PJ, which they were dipping out of the trash can they cleaned out the day before. That's why all the beer cans were in the corner. And as the night went on, Randall said to me, I've got to go see a man about a dog. And I thought he said, I'm going to go see a man about buying a hot dog. And I go, Randall, you ain't leaving me in here. I don't know anybody. These women are looking at me real mean like. You can't go out. You can't leave me. You got to stay here by me. Or I got to go with you. And he said, no way, you going with me, girl. And he disappeared. And when he came back from the parking lot, he was a whole lot happier. And up on stage, there was a vision. This woman, I met her later and became good friends with Pammy Lee. But Pammy Lee was in a 1950s prom dress, the ones that stood straight out with all the net and everything, you know, and you couldn't see her legs, just her little sparkly feet. And she was singing the same 3 songs over and again, and the band was going, no matter what the song was, they was playing the same beat on that drum. Every once in a while, they hit the snare. And she's singing Elvis Presley songs out of tune, like A Cat in Heat. And I don't know what the guy on the trumpet was playing. I just couldn't make it out, you know. And every time I looked over, all these women are like looking at me like, how dare she come in, that sweet hussy, my man's gonna... And they were just so jealous. So, I gotta tell you about this other guy. He is a very famous person in this area. His name is Sweat Bee. Now, Sweat Bee is real skinny. He's 95 pounds wet in his overalls with no underwear. And he has bright red hair, no teeth, and his side of his cheek is deformed because he always has tobacco chaw in there, you know. And he carries around a soup can to spit in. And he's a little bit shorter than me. Now, his wife is Big Sue. Big Sue is 300 pounds of solid muscle. She's wearing spike heels. She's wearing a very tight dress and a big old pocketbook because all of their worldly possessions, the deed to their house, the insurance policies, the title to his truck is in that purse. And all the money that they have all 20 rolls of pennies are in that purse. So Randall says, I need to go see a man about a dog. And this time he explained, and I said, I'm going with you, Randall. You ain't leaving me with these women, man. Their eyes are getting green and they're starting to get shaky. I don't trust them. You ain't leaving me with these women in here. So I started out to the parking lot with them. By this time, it's like the blizzard of the century, man. The parking lot is like 6 inches of slushy ice, gray slushy ice. There's things floating in there that I don't even want to tell you what they were. And the guys were over here in the parking lot. Well, there stood Sarah Lee. Sarah Lee had found out that surgery could add a lot of personality to her. And she was walked right up to me and said, feel these, do you think they're real? And she's all stumbling around. She'd been out there, seeing a man about a dog apparently, and she was feeling no pain at this point. And she's just wobbling around. And she lurches forward, and her personality fell out the top of her Marilyn Monroe dress. And Sweatbee walks up. He says, Sarah Lee, can I suck on one of your tits? Well, sure. Sweatbee, you can have both of them. He latches on. And I'll go like, oh my God, don't look. Oh! We hear a door slam back against the side of the building. Somebody had told Big Sue what Sweatbee was up to. A tidal wave came through the parking lot as she made her way over to Sweatbee. Sweatbee, what the hell do you think you're doing? And he went, I asked her, she said yes. I'm gonna kill you dead to dead, Sweatbee. You got red-headed babies in every family across this county, and I don't want any more illegitimate children showing up at my door. And you better get yourself straightened out right now, and we're going home. And Sweatbee says, you ain't the boss of me. And about that time, that pocketbook comes up in a wide arch. And Sweatbee was real smart and quick on his feet. He ducked. And he ducked. And she says, I'm going to get you, Sweatbee. And she picks up a piece of firewood out of the back of somebody's pickup truck. And by this time, Sweatbee is behind Ramblin' Randall, who's standing beside his daddy's Cadillac, the vintage Cadillac car. And she rolls back with that piece of firewood. He ducks, and that firewood comes down on the hood of that car. Kabam! Randall, stop him! They're hurting your daddy's car! Your daddy's gonna kill us dead in the day! We promised him nothing's gonna happen to this car! And I was hysterical. And also very wet. And my fur, I don't know, but rabbit fur starts to shed when it gets wet. And I had rabbit fur stuck here, down my legs, and everything like that, And my hair was sort of like over this way, in a big lump over here. It was rat tea, so, it held together like a Brillo pad. And my makeup was running. Back then, they didn't have mascara that didn't run. I had these black streaks coming down my face. I looked like something out of, Kiss. And I'm hysterical at this point. I've never in my life experienced anything like this. They were right. This was the event of the year. And every time she come down with that firewood, Sweatbee go like this. And she kept hitting on that Cadillac. And then we heard kapush. There went the windshield. I'm hysterical. I have lost my mind. I'm beyond reason at this point. I feel masculine arms grab me from behind. You don't touch my breastises. Buddy. So I bit down on that hand and I reared back and let him have it where it counted. And then I got dropped straight down into that tidal wave of slush and ice. And he laid out. I had knocked that pan out. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, "Help! Help! Help!" And Randall's just standing there looking down at me like, "What the hell happened to you?" And it was Big Ben laid out. I had just laid out my boyfriend. Somebody had gone down and got him and said, "Miss Dari has lost her mind." Meanwhile, Big Sue is chasing Sweatbee through the parking lot. And I'm going, yeah, this is the most social event of the year. Happy New Year.
I'm kind of new to all this. Just picked up the ukulele a little bit ago, started writing songs. I'll just do one for you. It's one I wrote recently, so I need the lyrics here. Bear with me here. Alright. I'm all at 6s and 7s, and I'm minding my P's and Q's. But you're just an inch from my leg in this stranger's living room. My heart's beating fast like a sinner, so I'm faithfully crossing my T's. But I spot your eyes as they glimmer and quickly cut over to me. I've never been so lost, never been so found. My defenses crashing down. Will we touch? Oh, we might. You could brush me with your thigh. Oh, I must get this right. If I just catch your eye, then that's me getting lucky tonight. We've been in this fight for a week now. I feel like we're miles apart. You've never made me feel so weak, and I've never so broken your heart. We sit on this couch in the silence. Resentment is filling the air. Some old part of me has to die if I come all the way over there. And I've never been so lost, never been so found. My defenses crashing down. And will we touch? Oh, we might. I could brush your arm with mine. Oh, I must get this right. If I just catch your eye, then that's me getting lucky tonight. And some people say they were born ready, but you know I was born yesterday. The day I just held you rock steady and did not wipe your tears away. And I've never been so lost, never been so found. My defenses crashing down. And I can touch like you like, hear the rush of your sigh. Oh, I must get this right. See the lust in your eye. And that's me getting lucky